Okay, good morning from Singapore. Today we are going to have a look at putting. Quite a few questions from the members on how to deal with various green speeds, particularly the nasty fast ones. And so we are just going to have a look at a couple of really basic things that will make a big difference today. And to do that, we are going to start by going to the putting green. Now we will try first the easy putting green at Bethpage, standard green speed. I will drop it way over here somewhere. Okay. For some reason that has gone to fast. There we go. So start with some theory. On a standard green, and notice this number here, 7.9. 7.9 is an important number. On a 7.9 green speed, if you hit 7.9 on your meter, it will go 7.9 feet. If you have a 10-speed green, if you hit 7.9 on your meter, it will go 10 feet. If you are on a tournament 12 green, if you hit 7.9 on your meter, it will go 12 feet. And so basically all you need to do is to multiply the distance you want to hit by 7.9 divided by 12. It is perfectly fine to round that up to 8. I usually round it up to 8 for two reasons. The first is it is much easier to do in my head in a 45-second or 30-second stop clock. And second, it actually makes no difference at all. I mean, you're out by sort of less than 1% there, which even from 83.3 feet is not going to make any material difference. So I usually use 8. So we'll prove that to ourselves, and we will also take a look at how much the ball breaks. There is a little bit of break on this putt, particularly at the start. And I want you to have a look at how much a ball breaks on different green speeds. So, the formula. The distance you want to hit it is equal to the feet plus or minus any elevation. We just turn the inches into feet. So in this case, it's down 1.5 inches. Turn that into feet. 83.3 minus, in this case, 1.5. And then we're going to add 2. We add 2 just because I like to go 2 feet past rather than being short. I hate being short. You won't miss the 2-footer coming back. Just add 2. So that gets us to 83.8 feet. So we want to hit this 83.8. We'll do this from behind the hole because it's easier to see what's going on over there. I mean, that's going to be... It's probably over there. Not pay too much attention to the break. Go to put preview. It's going to be, we said 83.8, right? Joy of putt previews, you can see exactly what the ball does. And also it guarantees that I hit the ding. So there you go, it's gone a couple of feet past. It's probably because I hit it about 85 as well. Yeah, it's got a couple of feet past. And the most important thing here is to watch the break of this putt, because we're now going to switch to a different green speed. We're going to switch to a tournament 12 green speed. So we had the same thing. It was 83.3 minus 1.5 plus 2 is 83.8. And this time we multiply by 7.9 divided by 12. 55.2. So here we go. I'll try to hit the ding. 55.2 is going to be around about there, yeah. I'll try and hit the ding. Now watch how much more that turns than on the standard green speed. That's an important, it's a really, really important thing to factor in, particularly for those of you who play in the coin rooms and you're often on slows and fast greens. That has turned an extra extra 2 grids, yeah. The first one turned probably 2.5 grids. That's turned an extra 2. So it makes a big difference. And if we move back to a very fast green, go back to the mulligan feature. It'll make me line up again, no doubt. Aim a bit further over. 83.8 times 7.9 divided by 10 this time. 66.2. Guaranteed to hit the ding with a putt preview. Yeah, and you can see it turns somewhere between the two. That that effectively is all you really need to know. Once you've got the pace right, then it's much easier to start calibrating the line, you can just click on that. How you would start to calibrate the line, it really depends on the dot speed. As you can see, the dots moving around there. Some people count the dot speed. I don't. I sort of just get used to. I get used to 1 green speed and then adjust from there. For me, that's 13s. 12s are probably an easier one to adjust to because you can do that in a practice mode, and then you just sort of adjust backwards. If you're playing on 11 speed, you can play a little bit less break. 10, a little bit less break still. 13, you have to play a little bit more. So those are the basics. That's all you need to do. I will add one caveat to that, and that is that if you are on a severe slope, and you'll only get this sort of 2 or 3% of the time, if you are on a severe slope, and this is a cracking example of it, we'll go to standard green speed first. Where you have a really big slope like this, that's a fair gradient, then the impact of the elevation is not quite the same. Basically, if you are on a very, very quick green, it's a little bit like putting down the side of your bathtub. It's just going to keep running and running and running. It will never stop, and so it sort of doesn't matter what mathematics you use. It is rolling to the far end of the bathtub, and in this case, it will roll off the green as once it gets moving far enough. So on a standard green, however, you're not going to get that impact as much. In fact, because of the friction of the longer grass, the impact of the downslope is not going to be quite so severe. So we had here, it was 19.4 less 10 is 9.4. On this one, I would think that we need to hit this about nearer to 11 to get this to the hole. You just do. That should be about dead weight. Yeah, that's dead weight, right? So I sort of added a little bit, added a couple of inches for that one. Now, if we turn this to a tournament green, all hell breaks loose. So the same thing. It was going to be about 9.5, right? If I hit this 9.5, you know where it's going. It's going over here. It's going straight off the green. That's 9. That is 9.5. Look where that. It hit the whole. Hit that. But you can see how far over that has gone. The reason it didn't break as much as it didn't break really any more than the first putt. There's two reasons. The first is I misdinged it slightly, and the second, it was going so fast that it was moving at roughly the same pace as the first putt. This is probably quite a good example. 23 less 7.3 is 15.7. I mean, there's no way I'm going to add 2 feet to this one. We'd have to aim it way over here somewhere. And I would deduct a few for this one just to try and keep it on the green. That's about 15.7 times 7.9 divided by 12. 10.33. Let's take it down to sort of 9 and a bit. And there you go. It stays on the green. So that's something you'll just have to toy around with when you get on severe sloping greens. Merion, Olympic and Wolf Creek are excellent places to practice that sort of stuff. You will get places like this on a regular basis. And there is one other thing I'm going to show you, which I do use occasionally. I've used 3 times in one round at St Andrews recently in a tournament. If I I'll go to this one. It's just going to be easier to show you. Put it over here somewhere. 85. This goes on a normal sort of green and without any wind. This goes 29 yards. We are slightly downwind and we're on tournament 12 here, so this will probably need to be hit around about 90%, maybe a little bit more, maybe slightly left just because of the wind. A little bit more. That is a really useful thing to know when you've got all sorts of ridges and stuff in the way. Just know that goes 29 yards, and away you go. I hope that's useful. Thank you for watching.